So I was actually gonna, do my pep talk on Neff, but right before I was going to, that lady that just drove away in that black car, she was asking me if I was okay, and I was just like, yeah, I'm good. And I asked her if she was good, and at first I thought she was like tripping on me or something. I don't know, but nah, she ended up just talking to me and telling me a story about her son that passed away in 2005, I think. I might be tripping. I don't know. I think she said 2005, but he was born in 1980. No, yeah, he passed away in 1999. He was born in 1989. And she was explaining to me that yeah, her son only died at 9 years old, and she told me that he had drowned. And the story on that is kind of crazy because my friend just he didn't just pass away, but my friend Neff passed away by drowning also. And he it's kind of crazy. She wants to ask me if I'm okay, and I'm like yeah, and then she don't even know how he passed away. So it's kind of weird how things work. I don't know if God sends angels to check up on you or whatever, but that's what happened. She explained to me that one day she was in the house, her son wanted for roll-ups, wanted snacks, and then it was a hot day in Oakland, and she gave him his snacks, his sandwiches, and then she let him go outside to go swim. And everybody was looking for her son, and they couldn't find him. And then she went outside, and she said that she found him 8 feet floating on the pool. And that's how he passed away. And that's kind of crazy. It sucks, and that's just God works in a weird way, in my opinion. Sometimes they say never question God, but I always do. They say that they say that everything happens for a purpose, and I personally don't like that opinion, just because of the fact that what's the purpose of her having to see her son floating 8 feet in a pool? You know what I mean? What's the blessing in that? Same thing with him. What's the purpose of him passing away when he already had the purpose that he was going for, which is playing football in college and hopefully making it into the NFL? He could have got his family out of the ghetto. I mean, I don't think his family was in the ghetto like that, but he could have put them in a better situation financially or whatever. You know what I mean? And him passing away, what's the purpose of that? That's something I'm always gonna question. I don't care, whatever anybody else says. But another thing I wanted to say. Well, this whole conversation, bro, was supposed to be like how I met Neff and all that, and it kind of got cut off because of the lady that I met right now, which I don't care. I'm glad I met her. She gave me her number so I can send her where Neff's mom got these from, because she was asking me where she got these from, but I don't even know. So I'm gonna ask Neff's mom and then I'll send them to her. But so getting back to the main topic of this video is how I met him. I met him in middle school. During the time in middle school, we weren't talking like that at all. It was more so like a what's up and that's it. To keep it real, I wasn't that close with him. And then high school comes around. I knew him freshman year. I had a lot of interaction with him freshman year, but it wasn't really like I guess long conversations. It was more so like quick ones. One time I can remember is that he walked up to me and he wanted to bet that the Steelers were gonna beat the I think it was the Bengals. I don't know what it was, bro, but I know it was the Steelers. And I told him, okay, I bet you $5. And at the time I'm a freshman, you know what I mean? I don't got no money in my pocket, bro. So the Steelers ended up winning. I lost the bet, and he started hunting me down every day, bro, at school. And at some point I was like, bro, I don't even got the 5 on me. And I was low-key kind of getting scared. And he finally called me one day, and I was like, okay. I gave him my only $5 that I had. And I don't know, bro. To get money in as a freshman, bro, you had to ask your mom and dad for money. You know what I mean? And I only had a mom at the time, so she was the only one giving me money. But she also had to give my two sisters money too. So it kind of sucked to ask for money. But anyways, yeah. Freshman year passed, sophomore year, a few interactions. It wasn't until junior year where I got really close with him, super close with him. It started with football. But I also had him in a couple classes, and he used to always mess with me, and I used to find it funny. It was annoying at times. He also instigated arguments with me and some other people, but that's just how we got close. I personally thought it was just like a person that, well Nev, I thought he was just a person that a lot of people knew, related to football. Like no one really saw like his other side. That's just how I felt. Like he also brought it up to me, and the reason why I'm saying that is because most people probably be like, no, I didn't see him as a just like a football player. But one time he brought up to me like it's just he kind of doesn't like when people just always come up to him and always ask him something about football, like, or like just relate something related to football. He said he hates it. Like he hates the fact that everybody just thinks like he's just this one person. Like he wishes that that someone can just see the other side of him, or just really like see the deep feelings of him. And I'm not gonna lie, not a lot of people notice, bro, but he opened up a lot about a lot of things that a lot of people don't know. And that's something that that's just kind of how I always approached him before he even told me something like that. I always approached him like trying to get to know him, not really know about the sport that he plays. You know what I mean? And I think that's kind of why we got along, because he kind of probably, I don't know if he did or not, but it's just, it's just kind of something how I'm taking it, because I never asked him. But like I said, he did always want someone to like kind of approach him and talk about something else not related to football. And that's kind of something I always did before he even told me. And I think that, like I said, that's kind of why we got along, because he probably peeped that. And it just went from there. We used to play the game late at nighttime until like 3, 4, 5. We can ask Morante. Morante's one of my other boys, NMC, Neff, Morante, Cooks. That's the trio. And he was very sentimental. I'm not even gonna lie. Like once we got to playing late at nighttime, that's when the true feelings would come out. We used to be up texting at nighttime about stuff that he didn't like about people on his football team, stuff like that. I always took that to heart. I always kind of seen that as like, this person, can't fuck with him. That's just how I am. I feel like people gotta respect it, in my opinion. But yeah, he was very sentimental, bro. Like he would definitely needed somebody that can hear him out, and which is what I always did. We used to always ask things about God and what happens after you die, stuff like that. And that's why I really related with him, bro, because that's the same thing I used to always think about, I promise you. And even that was only because my grandpa had passed away as a freshman, so I used to always wonder about stuff like that. Senior year, we got even closer, bro. Like it was just, we were locked in. That was my brother right there, best friend, all that, in my opinion. He completely opened up to me about a lot of things as a senior. We were just getting really, really close. And then he passed away. He passed away April 18th, as you can see on his tombstone. He was gonna go to a beach, and I was actually supposed to go, but I ended up not going because I had to go to work. I had just got a job on, I think, April 14th. I think my first day was April 16th. No, my first day was actually April 17th. He had called me that same night when I got off work from Texas Roadhouse. I got home like at 2 o'clock, and I called him and we spoke for a little bit. We played on the game. And he was telling me like, oh, I should go. And then I was just like, bro, I just got this job, so if I call off already, I feel like I'm gonna get fired. I actually wanted to work at Texas Roadhouse, bro. At the time, bro, as a high schooler, Texas Roadhouse, you was gonna make good money, bro. Like save up for some True Religions, Polo. Like that's just how it was, bro. But I just wanted to save up some money before I graduated. I wanted to have a summer job too. So that night, yeah, we spoke for a little bit. We talked. We reminisced about some stuff. We listened to a song, and then boom, went to sleep. He called. I called him in the morning. I was just calling to check up, like, hey, bro, you left yet to the beach? And he was already at Half Moon Bay. He called me, or he was inside of a store. I can't remember what store he was with, but he was with a few friends. We spoke. I asked him, like, where's he at? And he said Half Moon Bay. And I just said, what happened to Santa Cruz? And he said, oh, change of plans or whatever. And from there, I was just like, all right, then, bro, I'll catch you later. And then he said the same thing. I went to work, and then I got a text from a friend that he had passed away or drowned. And at that point, I kind of just went into the bathroom at work, and I kind of just sat there and was like in disbelief. And I just went straight to my car. I told my manager, like, I'm gonna go home. And then I still remember that day. It just feels like yesterday. But yeah, I sat in my car and then I texted Morante, which is our other boy, that he's so low key and all that. You won't even see no photos of him, but you'll just know his name. But yeah, I texted my boy Morante like bro, I think Ned passed away, and that was like the craziest thing I can ever hear at the time. And once that happened, like, we kind of just like let everything happen. Like, everything was, we had to find his body. We waited a week. I think they found his body like a week later. And then after that we had the funeral. I don't know why I keep saying we, but his family had the funeral. So I cut the audio in that video because of the fact that the wind started blowing pretty hard, so you guys couldn't really hear me. So I'm gonna extract the audio that I'm recording myself in right now, and I'm gonna add it to the video just to summarize what I was saying. But anyways, like I was saying in the video, he was in the water for I think like a week. I think it took them about a week and a half or so to find him, and then I think as soon as they found him, I think it took a week to have the funeral. I'm not too sure. I can't remember, honestly. But I just remember the fact that once they had him buried, I came the next day and I just sat there and kind of like didn't even feel real. I had no emotions. Like, I had no sadness, no anger or nothing. It just felt like I was sitting next to him at the cemetery. And then it just, I feel like it hit me more over time than when it actually happened. You know what I mean? I kind of just felt like it just felt like, I was just with him. I mean, realistically, I really was. And I hate sounding like, oh, I was just with him, because everybody says that every time somebody dies, bro. But I was really always with him regardless. You know what I mean? And that's the thing with me. Like, I keep my mouth shut about it because I just don't want to sound like that guy. Like, I don't want to sound like every person that says the exact same thing that I'm saying right now, because some people just say it, and there's people that do say it, and they really were like and I feel like back then when this happened, it was kind of childish to worry about who used to talk to him, or who was claiming him, and it wasn't true. It's just the fact that it's just someone passed, and you kind of want to put that behind you and not worry about any of that. But the thing with me is just that if you knew Neff, we used to talk about shit exactly like what I'm talking about. Like, he didn't like people that did shit like that. So when I know he doesn't like people that do shit like that, you're sitting there doing exactly what he don't like. You know what I mean? So that's why I trip about it. And it's just like something you can't take away from nobody. You can't take that away from me either. It's just the fact that like I said, if you were really there, you would understand it. You know what I mean? I feel like people have to respect that. I feel like my feelings, I feel like our pain's not the same. You know what I mean? And his family is obviously with him more longer than I've ever known him. I can only imagine what they feel. You know what I mean? It's just the fact that we all kind of just, I don't really ask them too much either about like how they feel. I feel like stuff like that I can't really ask unless they tell me themselves. You know what I mean? It's just, I don't want to sound like I'm just trying to start anything up and get some type of information or anything like that. It's just more so respect. Like, I don't know, I just don't like asking nobody how they feel about Ned passing. Other than like, if you're really close to me, I'll ask you, but other than that, I just keep it to their privacy. The point of this video was just kind of to vent about how everything felt at the moment, and just vent about how I feel about current things and stuff like that. Neff was really that person that I really felt like understood me, and there's people now that I used to talk to that are around, and I completely dislike the fact that certain things that they do, Neff wouldn't like. And it's just the fact, I don't know, it's just weird to me, bro. And it's so much stuff to talk about, bro. I'm probably gonna have to make a part 2 to this video, but it's just so much things that I wish could have been different back then that I did or didn't do, so that it can prevent things that are going on now. I feel like I kept my mouth shut for too long, and There's just nothing I can really do about it now, because if I just do something about it now, it's more so just like, what's the point? You know, I really just move in Neff's name and try to keep his name alive. And I know there's other people doing it too, and there's different ways people do it. I do it through anything, like my car stuff, car content on Instagram, you know, all that. It's not clout chasing at all, because, you know, I mean, I don't even gotta explain shit, bro. People know what's up with me and Neff, bro. I don't gotta say nothing. You know what I mean? I keep it just straight. I just keep it real, bro, honestly. So yeah, it's just, if you guys want a part 2, I can make a part 2 and more so explain I don't know, everything that's been going on since he's passed. You know, I kind of explained a little bit of like the moment I met him to when he passed, and a little bit after he passed. But you know, this is just more so trying to get to open myself a little bit more about him. I don't really talk to a lot of people about it unless you're really close to me. So I'm gonna probably cut the video here now, and then we'll see how this does. I'm not expecting like a lot of likes or views. This, like I said, I've said this multiple times in different videos, bro. I really just do this because it's my passion. Like, doing content is just something I love doing. If I don't get likes or subscribers off of it, it doesn't bother me at all. It really just pushes me, bro. Like, people say that and probably don't mean it. It probably hurts deep down, like, damn, like they're not making any progress. But realistically, I really just love doing this. There's no stopping it. I just took so long to invest into like a camera and a computer or whatever, just because of the fact that like I procrastinated too much. But we're getting older, and I understand that, and there's no time to wait anymore. You kind of just have to make something happen and do something that you love, and I already found what I love doing. So it's just the fact that I'm just gonna try to go based off that, and no matter what, I'm gonna just keep going until I make it out of whatever situations I'm going through now. And you know, we'll see from there. So I'm gonna just cut the video, and I'll probably just catch you guys in the next video for a part 2.